They are some of Britain's best. But over the last 5 years have faced the most difficult audience of their lives. Pupils. For no fame or wealth could help them now as they faced the teaching challenge.
For her teaching challenge, Olympic gold medalist Dame Kelly Holmes headed for Portsmouth and a Year 9 PE class. She was hoping for a low-key arrival.
Oh my God! What am I doing?
As with every teaching challenger, Kelly's PE class will have valuable observation and assessment from a professional.
Keep going round, back round. Okay.
So far her teaching style has been quite command. She's been there giving the instructions and hasn't really been too much, letting the students choose what they do or any real independent learning. It hasn't been go away and practice, or it hasn't been giving any of the students an opportunity to assess each other or maybe even act as teachers with each other.
Ready, go! Let's go! Louder, Tom! Let's go, come on!
I wonder if you watching at home have spotted the person in this programme who was once an army physical training instructor.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, excellent. Well done.
The class are more than happy to give their all and hear of gold-winning ambition.
Since I was 14, I wanted to be Olympic champion. So if you can imagine 20 years of keep trying, it's a long time, isn't it?
I thought Kelly's lesson was brilliant. It was fun. Also, it was a good learning lesson. I haven't learned a lot of basketball moves that she taught us that day.
I suppose when it's a class and you have to think about a start and a finish and a progression in between, it's kind of like, oh God, how am I going to balance that? But I love working with kids, and being national school sports champion, it is about kind of engaging them really well, and I've really enjoyed it today.
From the track to the airways, and perhaps Britain's most formidable interviewer arrived to teach a GCSE English class in East London.
I hope that I will survive the experience. I'm not absolutely convinced that I will. I'm terrified.
John Humphreys.
I've never done anything like this in my life before. I've done sort of training things. The old days I used to do ghastly media training courses and all that. This is different. My golly, is it different. Can't judge language in the same way that you test a car when its MOT has expired. It is possible to catch a butterfly, to pin it onto a board, and to study its anatomy. But the essence of the butterfly has vanished.
Abby's had a hand up now for a very long time.
It cannot be examined and analysed to see whether it works any more than you can study a pinned butterfly.
It takes a full 5 minutes for John to notice Abby and allow her to speak.
Yeah, sorry.
But don't you think you're sort of being ironic when you use the butterfly metaphor?
Well, it's a good point. It was slightly flowery language, I grant you, but I was trying to express an idea. Let me ask you a question. Did you understand the point? And this is not patronising, this is a serious question. Did you understand the butterfly metaphor when I made that point?
I understand what you were trying to say.
Then I rest my case. That's all I wanted to do.
However, you did say that language should not be ambiguous, and with the butterfly metaphor, there is a sense of ambiguity with
I
it.
don't agree with you. Why? Why was that an ambiguous
Why do you not
metaphor?
agree with me?
Well, because I think...
Well, they're in standoff, and it's he's doing well actually, but what he has is he has a very aggressive pupil there who's portraying aggressive body language, who is also highly intelligent, which is an awful situation for any teacher to be in.
I hope that I'm communicating my thoughts to you. And in return, you've just done that to me. You've told me you thought my butterfly metaphor was crap. Well, fine. I mean, you're absolutely entitled to that.
When humour comes in, the mood lightens.
I probably will. I'll have another look at that, because you may be right. Come on, how did I do? Right, be honest, they were, for God's sake.
This is how we normally start when observing lessons. How do you feel it went?
How do I feel? And disastrously, utterly disastrously. We weren't, I thought, connecting intellectually at many points. When we did, and it happened sometimes, that was terrific.
Yes.
And you could see the youngster kind of going, yeah, wonderful feeling that, because you actually feel that there is a meeting of minds.
But what you experienced there was probably exactly the same as any supply teacher in the country would experience. The emotional aspect of it is really quite tough.
Boy, they earn their money.
Yeah.
No argument about that.
One of John Humphrey's old political sparring partners is former Education Secretary David Blunkett, who took romantic poetry for his teaching challenge.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you can create an image in your head if you haven't actually seen it in real life.
It's almost a combination of putting other senses together. It's actually building up a picture from your own life experiences, from touch, from smell, from standing on a hillside and feeling the breeze and the sun on your face, and being able to picture what other people have fed in. It's quite hard to do that without actually having those kind of images up in your mind.
That's an interesting question to pose, actually. Make them think.
Do you find it difficult with everyday life?
Yes, I do. There have been quite hairy moments that wouldn't have existed if I'd been able to see. But most of the time, I've improvised. I've just found ways round doing things that other people would take for granted. And generally, it's come off, and it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes in a meeting, I've picked up nuances that someone just looking at faces wouldn't pick up. And sometimes I've escaped from being frowned and scowled at when I've been saying things, which has made me slightly more honest in saying them than someone who would have seen the black look, perhaps of the Deputy Prime Minister, for instance, when I was saying something, and I would have not spotted it, so I'd have just carried on sublimely, unaware that I was in bad books. So it swings and roundabouts.
It's a lovely use of anecdote there that not most people wouldn't be able to supply, obviously.
Brunella Scales and Timothy West turned their teaching challenge into an acting masterclass with an inner London comprehensive.
And I have 5 sticks, that's my code. I got no inclination to talk to her at all.
And this is a joke, you're not delivering on it. And then she wants to have a conversation with me in the supermarket. And I got 5 steaks stashed in my coat. You know. Yes, but I mean, you don't need to show them, but you don't want to have a conversation in the supermarket with somebody when you've got 5 steaks that you've nicked in your pockets, eh?
The blood might start to run.
Blood might start to run, yeah.
And I got 5 steaks stashed in my coat.
You're still stressing out. You've got to, where you won't get the laugh if you say my. If you stress my. Sorry, you won't.
And I got 5 steaks stacked in that coat.
Better, much.
I don't have any inclination to talk to her at all. None.
And walk off. Yeah, it's lovely. Yes, very nice. Yes. Stick with it. Any questions about that, Alvaro? Any questions?
What would you advise me to do when I have to do my part of, when I have to be more aggressive, like on the words?
Never play a quality, always play an action. Don't play your anger, play what you do about it. to excuse yourself. Look, I was furious with him because he wanted to rape me, you know. And I mean, how dare he? He wanted to rape me.
When Saturday morning TV legends Trevor and Simon took the challenge, a well-planned lesson wasn't at the top of their agenda.
Do you have a lesson plan that you're hoping to follow?
Yeah.
How long's the lesson?
Yeah, no, we have. What we're going to do is we're going to start the lesson, and then we'll do some stuff, and then we'll kind of wrap it up, won't we?
Yeah, by the end.
Yeah.
You're going to be spying on us somewhere, aren't you?
I know.
Being rude
I'd rather
about
be
us.
doing it.
Words this teacher would live to regret.
Hello, this is why you're spying on us?
Yes.
I was thinking that maybe rather than spying, you should come and have a go and do one.
Oh, no.
Come on. Okay, well, you all know who this is. Miss Brooks, we know her as Alison. It's a posh footballer and a tabloid journalist in a cemetery. Off you go.
Okay.
Okay, so if I kick the ball, it knocks off a headstone.
Great.
And then I
Great,
fall on the grave and I pretend to be dead.
Gotcha. Fantastic.
And actually I am dead, but you think that I'm still alive pretending to be dead.
You're confusing me now a bit, but never mind. Yeah, okay. So completely blasphemous footballer lies in crucifix position on a gravestone.
Yes.
Yeah, I think your career's over. Great.
All right, go on. You can go back to carrying on spying on us now, I guess, then.
They might edit a bit of that. I don't know.
Please promise me that you'll cut that whole bit. That you will, won't you?
From doing it to the sheer excitement of mathematics with Simon Singh.
He's come to Queen Elizabeth School for Boys in Barnet, founded by Elizabeth I in 1573. It was Elizabeth's codebreakers who revealed the plot to replace her with Mary, Queen of Scots, who was put to death as a result.
The great thing with code breaking, there's some really complex, arcane mathematics in there, but there are also heroic stories. People who dedicated their lives to saving their nation, or people who lost their lives because a code was broken.
Over 4 centuries after Elizabeth, codes are on the agenda once again.
This is a genuine Second World War Enigma cipher machine, and it was built just before the war, and it was used throughout the war. Here are the keys, here are the lamps, and the wires, each of the 26 wires from the keys goes to the lamps. But before getting to the lamps, it goes through these rotors. What's clever about the Enigma is that these rotors actually move. So if I type the letter Q here, that first rotor has just moved. So now the A is coming in again at the top, but that contact's changed. So the electrical path is completely different, and that's why the output will be different. Same again. The rotor moves, different input, different output, different light lights up. If you've got 26 letters in the alphabet, there are 400 million, billion different ways to arrange 26 letters of the alphabet. This is a similar kind of problem. How many ways can you arrange 20 plugs? And it's of the order of 100 million. Extraordinarily big numbers.
Having dealt with up to 100 million number combinations, when it comes to lunch, it's either cheese or tuna.
Question,